You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. Folks, stocks are soaring and most black people are missing out on this. Now, when Donald Trump touts his economic gains, he usually refers to the stock market. The reality is only 33.5% of black households own stocks in 2019, according to the Federal Reserve. Among white households, the ownership rate is nearly 61%. Hispanics and other minorities, those numbers are even less. So stocks have nothing to do with the black economy. Joining me now is America's Wealth Coach, Deborah Owens. Deborah, we're talking about, again, we're talking about Ice Cube's contract with Black America. We're talking about economics. We're talking about Trump's platinum plan. I call the aluminum foil plan. We're talking about the Biden plan as well. The reality is this: when we are talking about African Americans and economics and how we have been left out of so many different areas, to Rena's point, you have to look at the jobs that we're in. You have to look at our disposable income. You have to look at, do we have the ability to be able to take $1,000 or $5,000 and put it in the stock market? Look, the folk out here who are getting rich are the individuals, frankly, who own homes, who likely have those homes paid off. Individuals who, with the amount of money they're making, the reality is you cannot have a discussion about black people in the stock market and completely ignore racism, redlining, and discrimination in hiring, in housing, in corporate America, in government, all of that. It all is intertwined.
It is. It's systemic. And, you know, the truth is, to your last guest point, one of the things that COVID has made really clear is how many black folks are considered essential workers. So essential workers typically are, the people in the front lines, the people serving food, the people making sure buildings are open. And so as a result of being concentrated in what are pretty much low earner roles, you don't have those benefits. You don't have access to an employer sponsored 401k, let alone someone matching, right? So systemically, that's part of the issue. In order to invest, you have to feel like you have enough discretionary income so that you can, afford to put your money at risk and see it go up and down. But I think what was really interesting in the article was talking about the fact that even high income earner African Americans have a tendency are risk averse, right? Don't want to see their money go up and down, are more likely to be invested in real estate or insurance products. And so at the end of the day, there are just a couple of things going on. I mean, the stock market is not the economy. And yet, I think what many people don't understand is that the reason that the stock market is making these new heights has nothing to do with companies making a lot of earnings and more to do with monetary policy. And so what do I mean by that? I mean that basically the Fed is keeping interest rates really, really low, and there's nowhere for the money to go. Couple that with the fact of this most recent tax cut by this administration, which made basically, if you own stocks or capital gains, you really benefited from it. So, and if you think about it, Roland, the last time I was on your show, we were discussing the fact that an NFL player who was a millionaire went into an investment firm and wanted to be considered a high net worth client, and they denied him access.
Yeah, that was a case out of Arizona, J.P. Morgan, right, out of Arizona.
Right, and so it is systemic. What I know to be true is that every day a person of color, a Black person, reaches out to a financial services firm, and because we don't have what are perceived to be enough assets, or don't know the right questions to ask, we're denied access. And so there's so many layers underneath here that I don't think were even covered in the article. And people wonder why Black folks are skeptical of these institutions. Well, it only takes an example like that NFL player doing everything that he can, you know, actually moving $800,000 in assets, and yet still he was denied.
Well, and last question here, that the thing I need folk to understand, and I've got somebody here that the folks are like, oh, it's easy to do stocks. You can buy stock for as little as $1, and it's simple. No, it's not that simple. Okay, it's just simply not that simple, because you got to know what the hell you're buying. You got to know what you're investing in. You got, I mean, all sort of stuff along those lines. But the thing that people don't want to deal with this is that if you, and again, I go back to these competing plans with Trump and Biden, and Ice Cube was absolutely right. No one plan goes far enough. But I can tell you which one goes a hell of a lot further than the other. I can tell you what's a BS plan, which is Trump's so-called platinum plan, which is embarrassing in itself by naming it a platinum plan for Black folks. Biden's plan goes further. But the thing for us as African Americans, we don't have to settle just for what Biden has put down on paper. I use Biden's plan as a marker. That's like, oh,
here's what I want to say.
That's a marker.
We have to save ourselves. I mean, if we know nothing else in the past 4 years, it is clear that even what we perceived as being allies, or buying into the American dream and thinking that if we did all the right things, if we got a college education, a degree, if we had that 6-figure career, that things will open up for us. And the truth is that so much of the lack of ownership of stocks and not participating in this most recent move in the stock market has a lot to do with the fact that most people have someone to show them how to invest.
Right.
I am somewhat taken aback by the number of people who are using apps and have absolutely no idea what they're investing in. And so my fear is thinking that things are simple, investing in the moment the market goes down, then you become afraid and you say, oh, well, that didn't work, right? So, I mean, I guess the point that I want to make, Roland, and the reason that I started Wealthy You is because we need to have a fundamental understanding of how the financial markets work and how to use the same knowledge, insight, and intellect that we use as consumers. We really have to learn how to use that intel and begin to invest in those same companies. And what you have to do is have a basic knowledge of how to do so. And we're simply not getting access to that through formal education, because typically this is something that is taught from our family, or someone in your family kind of says, okay, I'm going to take you along. Let's start your first brokerage account. That is not happening. But, the fact is that even when we do seek help, we're simply not being let in with open arms and shown the ropes.
Absolutely. Deborah Owens, America's Wealth Coach. How can folks reach you?
Well, they can go to my website, wealthyu.com. And by the way, talking about learning how to invest, Roland, we've got a masterclass going on tomorrow all day, so they can just hit our website if they want more information.
All right. Sounds great. Folks, go check it out for some great information. We appreciate it, Deborah Owens. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thanks so much, Roland.
All right, folks. Back to that Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment. All right, the folks at Ceek.com, Black-owned company founded by Mary Spio. They, of course, a virtual reality company. You can check out their content at Ceek.com, Ceek.com. You can do so, of course, with these VR headsets. You can look at it, of course, on your regular device or your pad or your computer. But if you want to experience being in the room, you can use this headset right here. All you simply do is just pop in your cell phone in here, pop it on, and then put this headset on, and you can literally experience their content in virtual reality. reality. And so allows for you to do a 360-degree view of the room. But also, folks, they have the 360-degree 4D headphones right here. These are Bluetooth headphones. They have complete surround sound in terms of as you hear the particular music. Gamers love them as well when they're playing their games. And so it's just phenomenal bass in these headphones as well. You can get one or both devices at Ceek.com using this promo code RMVIP2020, RMVIP2020. So we certainly thank the folks at Ceek.com for being a partner with us here at Roland Martin Unfiltered. All right.